Hello, Star Talk friends and everyone out there. This video is going to be about creating content in Gimkit. And I first want to show you this website from Ditch That Textbook that does an amazing overview of some of the many quizzing tools that I love. I use all of these and more. Quizalize is one I add to this list on a regular basis. And that stay tuned for that in another video. But you can scroll down and they have so many great features, videos, pros and cons, nice things that you can kind of go over. This is amazing stuff. And then at the very end, they have so many templates that you can go through and trying other things. So check out that website. I'll put the link in the description. But we are going to focus on Gimkit today. I have the paid version of Gimkit as well. You are pretty limited with what you can do with the free version. My students found it so powerful. This is one of the few tools I did end up paying for. Up to you to look at. And there's two things you can do in Gimkit. Gimkit Live is probably the most well-known. Gimkit Ink is newer. And so I'll show you both, and we'll try to keep track of the time so this video isn't too long. But in Gimkit Ink, this is a great place for writing. And Gimkit, just as a reminder, was created by a high schooler to sort of improve the gaming experience. And so he has some really powerful videos kind of talking about how he hated writing. And so I would encourage you to look at their blog, look at their help. They have so much information that can really help you go through here. So you have options, right? So just click on them. Solos, you can create whatever you want. And so you can just publish something just on your own, that you might want to publish here. I'm going to go back to Ink. We don't want to do that. You can set up your classes. And so I usually do set up a class, and then I have everything together when my students go in. They don't have to search for assignments. It sort of pulls it up in their class feed. Okay, and it links the live stuff and the ink stuff. Time Machine, you can go back and see everything you've written. And so your students have this as well, so they can go and see their progress. That's kind of cool. And then projects, and this is the heart and soul. And so here is where you decide what you want to do. So let's make a new project. So this essay defense system, by the way, is kind of interesting. And so here you can see if you enable it, it keeps it short. The idea is writing often, but not an overwhelming amount. And so since we're often dealing with novice students in our Star Talk program, we definitely want to keep it short. So 600 words is way more than I know in Chinese. And then it does also keep it as a story, and there's a link to visuals. So you may or may not want it. For right now, let's enable the essay defense system. And so we want to name our project. And again, what is our backward design? What do we want them to talk about? Let's talk about pets, right? And we would be doing this in the target language. And so, what is your favorite? List all the pets you know, right? I don't know. List the names of pets you know. Which ones do you like best? Include photos. Share your animals with us. And I'm picking themes from our Star Talk program, right? So for this one, I don't feel like setting up a class. Our program is pretty short, so I'm just going to say anybody. When you're with your school, though, and you need to take into account, privacy issues and FERPA, things like that, that's part of why I make a class. So then it's not anyone on the internet. It's really safe and closed down. You don't have to look at advanced options. I will just, and so here's where you have some of those privacy pieces. So this is great for us as teachers to really look at. Do you want to approve posts? If I'm working with younger students, I do want to approve their posts, making sure that they are appropriate. You can allow editing or not. You can allow reactions or not. You can kind of read these. I want to hide their comments. You can set dates and due dates, and then when your students, open the project, they'll see those. So maybe I want to say starting today, starting tomorrow, and they have until Friday. And you can set a time as well. I'm going to make my project. Here is the link that you can share with your students. So, copy it and paste that wherever. And now let's go back to our project. And you can see when your students log in, they can kind of see some of the parameters of the project, so they always know. You as the teacher can see when things come together. You'll have an index, you can manage it. There's some different options that you can do. We don't have anything to manage really right now, but this will give you the review of your project if you decide you want to change anything. And I have to double check because it says they're hidden by default. I probably want them hidden by default until they're manually approved, because I'm working with some younger learners. I want to make sure it's appropriate. So we're going to go back to our project. Sometimes I like to create my own first post, and I must have clicked wrong there. Let's go back. Whenever you're stuck, go back to Gimkit Ink. Here's my pet project. Will it let me create a new post? Oh, because the time is set wrong. I mean, it's not set wrong, but I need to edit it. So let's go to our pet one, and we need to manage it, because I was just going by real fast, and I picked this due date that it doesn't open until tomorrow. And so posts are allowed anytime, but when should they be considered late? Fine. I need to get back to the details of my project so that I can change that. Why is it not letting me? This is what you get for going too fast. I'm going to say 50 because that's pretty appropriate for us. Well, that is frustrating. So I guess I don't see how I can change when they start it. We can take off the due date so there is no due date, but I'm not sure it's going to make this be open. Yeah, it's not going to open until tomorrow. So, I might, since I don't have a lot here, honestly, we are going to start over. Okay. All right, little hiccup in our video and our project. So we're gonna start over with a new project. I'm gonna go a little more slowly. So let's make this be about pets. List, we can tell them in Chinese, although my instructions would be in the target language. Normally, list in Chinese all the pets, all the names of pets all the pets you know. Which ones are your favorite? Share photos. Okay, so we want it to be anyone. We already explained why. We're going to look at our advanced options. Hiding them by default until they're approved. Editing, yes. Reactions, fine. Commenting on each other's posts, but they're hidden until they're manually approved. Let's not put in a start date, but we can put in a due date. We'll see if that helps. Now, do we want to allow them to make a newspaper article or be visual? Maximum number of words. Oh, and by the way, this is part of why it's different. I didn't enable the missile defense. Anyways, here's that link you can share. Let's view the project. So that is one of the differences here with the previous one, is I didn't enable that missile defense system. But now I can create a new post. And the missile defense makes it be a story. Since I didn't enable the missile defense with this second project, I can pick if I want it to be an article or a story. The story one is sort of trying to encourage pictures. And so you have this storyboard, you can add pictures. So I'm gonna add my a picture of a cat. It's one of the few words I kind of know. So I put my picture in here, and then I want to add some text, and I will write cat. I forget the character. I could put my Chinese characters on and I could figure it out, but we'll just leave it here for now. You see you have some symbols. You can have some notes if you want. Then you go to the next frame. you see? And then, I'm afraid I forgot all my other words. I'm trying to say panda, so those of you watching, let's not laugh. So, all right, so I've got panda, right? I go to new frame, and then when I'm done, I hit publish. And I can always go back and edit because as the teacher I allowed editing, but this just gives students an example. Oh, I forgot, I do want to go back to editing because I want them to say which one is their favorite. So, and you can tell them, you know, in the directions that they have to have an image or not, right? It makes it a little more fun. And so, in fact, I'm going to show my advanced, my best Chinese, right? Well, okay. So there's my story. I can say that I'm all done and say I'm ready to publish it. And I'll put the name. I'm going to put a little heart because I like pets. And now your students can decide, does only my teacher see it or can anyone see it? I'm just going to let my teacher see it. And so now it's published. And so you can share this with your parents anytime. You can have it be anonymous. You know, there's different options that you have. And then you can go as the student, you can go to the project, right? And you can see, right now, I can only see my own. And then any students that shared, I would be able to see it as the student. And then as the teacher, you can kind of see all of them. And so it's reminding you what you can see as the teacher or not. So that is making a Gimkit Ink project, right? And then a paper, you know, pulls the top posts or, you know, the latest posts from all of your projects so students can kind of see what's going on. There's several different ways that you can do things. And so you go to a new project, right? You can enable that essay defense system or just go through and start picking what you'd like them to do, thinking about backward design. Well, I've talked long enough for this video. I'll show you Gimkit live in another one. Have a great day. Ciao.